Everybody, welcome to Snow Talk. Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good here on this Tuesday. Busy morning. We had some of that freezing fog in the area that developed and led to some icy patches. A lot of accidents too this morning. We'll cover the short term here in a second. First off, on the snowboard, well, it's relatively quiet, to be expected. There is at least a chance for maybe some rain, possibly into the snow toward the end of the year. We'll see how that plays out in a second. But I do think we'll get back to a colder pattern again. I know a lot of Mets especially are not wanting to say that, or we could get snow again later on, because it's not kosher to say you could get snow later this winter. So there's some kind of stereotype if you say that you're trying to be someone who's hyping a cold, snowy winter. It's just weather, first off. And it's just snow. It's supposed to be fun, guys. Got to lighten the mood up a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, the chances aren't that great at the end of the year. But I do think we'll get, I mean, we've got a long way to go yet. Winter begins tomorrow, officially. And we know how things go, especially in our area. We usually have to deal with snow of some sort well into February, if not March. So, one at a time. So, having said that, you know, this is one of the things we're looking at is the Rossby waves, where we track the wave patterns across the globe that have a tendency to repeat themselves. Look it up if you want to know more. I don't have a lot of time on the blog to go into detail, but it is used a lot in forecasting. OrganicForecasting.com has a great site. It has a lot of this information on it. The red is what has happened, and the squiggly lines are what the data was indicating is a signal analysis. These are temperatures, max temperatures, but don't pay attention really to the numbers. More so look at the ups and downs, and that's what we look at for trying to detect some waves. And once you get them close together, you get more confidence in a wave moving through. They've been very, very dramatic, these waves have been, and you can tell really the signals have just been really poor for December. It's really hard to pinpoint one particular wave over another on timing, and that's been the month so far for us. Now, having said that, looking ahead toward the end, it is still aiming toward the New Year period. It's still detecting something coming our way in the form of a significant signal to give us some snow. And according to this signal analysis, it would have been our first measurable snow, which is actually our next chance that we have on there. Now, whether or not this is going to be right or not, I don't know. Nobody knows that. But it is interesting to see that. Now, it's picking up this, which would be the end of the wave coming in Wednesday and Thursday. Don't see that being a factor. And this is to be the one after Christmas. Don't see that being a factor. So all hope is on this one to see what happens there at the end. And by the way, just looking ahead into January, not much clarity here, but one thing that I do see at least a signal coming in the first 6 days or so of January, a decent signal coming in around the 10th and 11th. And then anytime I see a steep drop like that, I mean, that's a good indicator that the wave is significant enough to have a big warm up, thunderstorms, probably going to snow, that kind of a deal. And that could set up around, say, the 17th and the 20th. And that could be one that gets us back into more Arctic air. But I'm looking way out. We'll see how it goes as we get closer in time. Today, though, we still got the Arctic air, 18 degrees, 92 Bedford. This is the last of it, more than likely through the end of the year, because we are going to get moderating temps. Any cold snap from here on out is going to be more Pacific and stale cold air from Canada versus the true Arctic air. We may have to wait until that signal later in January to get back to these kind of levels again. Looking at the broader setup here, we do have this clipper that's going to move in as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, more of a cloud increase type of deal, a slight drop in temps. Otherwise, it's all the energy moving in, and multiple pieces really from the north and the southern branch we got to keep an eye on. Here's the latest look at that. We got a wave on Christmas Eve, and then as we get into Christmas Day, the warm front still showing up, although a bit slower in some of the overnight model runs. It should pass through at some point Christmas Day. If it's in the morning, there'll be rain in the morning. If it's in the afternoon, showers in the afternoon. Obviously, if it gets sooner in the morning, we have a better chance to get into the mid-60s Christmas afternoon with a bit of sun. But if the warm front takes too long to get here, we may not see that much of a rise Christmas Day, because by the time the warm front moves in, if it's too late in the day, the sun's going down, so wherever we rise to, which will likely be upper 50s, may be where we stop for the night. However, as we get into the day after, it shows 57, we actually will climb into the mid-upper 60s if that front waits until after sunset Monday night, the 26th, to move through, which the slower idea seems to be playing out here. But notice the cold air, it works its way in, but it's not like crashing its way in like the last system was doing. In fact, when we look at the models, again, the top three are the operational models here. GFS, Euro, Canadian, here are the ensembles. When you look at all of this, especially the ensembles, really good agreement on Christmas Day that we are going to be warm. That warm flow, moving in. The day after, you can see how the cold air is not really showing signs of rolling in, mainly because a secondary low is tugging on the front, the tail end of it. So the front isn't going to crash all the way into, say, South Georgia. It's going to move through, then put the brakes on, because a new low is going to begin to form on the western side of that, and just about every model and the ensembles show that. Should be worth noting that GFS was the first to really pick that out. Then as we head toward the New Year, the last couple of days really of the month, maybe a day before New Year's, but either way, that wave will then roll out. Now the Euro is fast with it, it's significant with it, with the cold blast in behind it. GFS is a lot slower, these are operational runs. The ensembles, not great agreement really even on the ensembles. So there are a lot of questions on this last system of the year, how this will play out for us. So stay tuned. We'll see how it looks once we get past this Christmas system. I do want to mention, though, this is the Canadian ensembles really through the first week of January, and I like the look of it because it definitely shows the more of a stronger Pacific jet getting involved in the pattern, so a faster flow of systems moving west to east. We still got a hint of a ridge here, so the storms, anything that rolls out in the plains will have a northeast jog to it. It's usually a rain scenario for us with only backlash snow or flurry kind of deals. That looks to be the roll for us for the next couple of weeks until we get a shakeup in the pattern again. And we'll see if that does indeed take shape toward mid-January if these signal analysis details come to light. Stay tuned, guys. We'll have another look at it coming up tomorrow.